We're diving right into a seriously beautiful autobiographical summary by the renowned author Sutha Murty. You know, this isn't just about words on a page. It's really this profound look at independence, the courage it takes to be vulnerable, and that deeply human desire we all have to just understand the world around us. We're going to break down this incredible true story step by step and follow a woman who decided to completely rewrite the rules of her own life.
So, let's kick things off with a very specific number, 62. Take a second and think about what that age means to most folks, right? For a lot of us, it's a time to slow down, settle into a cozy routine, maybe get ready for retirement. But in our explainer today, 62 is the exact age our main character decided to completely flip the script on her life. It's the age she chose to become a total beginner all over again. The age she chose to become a total beginner.
Young Sudha is living with her grandparents in their Karnataka village. Now, her grandmother absolutely loves stories, especially this serialized novel called Kashi Yatre that dropped every week in a local magazine. But, well, here's the catch. The grandmother never actually had the chance to learn how to read. So she relied 100% on young Sudha to read her favorite serial out loud to her, week in and week out. It's this beautiful bonding ritual between the two of them. But, as we're going to see, it's built on a pretty fragile foundation of dependency.
Which brings us to Section 2, a sudden sense of helplessness.
Because, just one simple trip changes everything. One day, young Sudha has to leave the village to go to a wedding. And while she's gone, the weekly magazine arrives right on schedule, just like always. But without Sudha there to read it, the grandmother is completely locked out of her favorite story. She's sitting there holding the magazine, but she literally can't consume the latest installment. It seems like a minor inconvenience, right? But it actually throws her into this state of stark dependency. It forces her to face the hard truth that she is entirely reliant on someone else just to experience a story she loves. She feels, well, profoundly helpless.
Moving on to Section 3, the 62-year-old student.
Now, the grandmother's reaction to feeling this way is just incredibly powerful. She doesn't just sigh, throw her hands up, and accept your inability to read as some permanent fact of life. No way. Instead, she has this massive realization about the true importance of education. She gets that literacy is the absolute key to independence. So, in a moment of sheer bravery, she decides to learn how to read and write. She completely rejects the whole notion that her age somehow dictates what she can and cannot do.
So how does she do it? First, she makes that bold decision to start learning at 62. Second, and I love this part, she flips the traditional family dynamic totally on its head by asking her young granddaughter Sudha to be her teacher. Just think about the humility that takes. And third, she applies herself entirely, mastering the Kannada alphabet through sheer, undeniable hard work. She proves that our brain's capacity to learn doesn't just mysteriously shut off at a certain age. It just requires a genuine spark of motivation and the discipline to actually see it through.
This takes us right into Section 4, the ultimate reward. The timing of her success here is just incredibly poetic. It all culminates on the festival of Saraswati Puja, which is a day appropriately dedicated to the goddess of knowledge, art, and learning. On this exact day, a remarkable breakthrough happens. The grandmother opens the magazine and she reads a passage completely by herself for the very first time. No middleman, no waiting around for her granddaughter, just pure, unadulterated independence. It's amazing.
Overjoyed by this newfound freedom and just deeply moved by what she's achieved, she does something truly extraordinary. She touches Sudha's feet. Now, if you're familiar with Indian culture, you know touching someone's feet is a traditional mark of profound respect. It's almost always done by a younger person to an elder. But here, the grandmother does it for her young granddaughter. It's this stunning gesture that acknowledges Sudha not as a child, but as her teacher. It shows us that true respect is earned through the sharing of knowledge, no matter what your age or social hierarchy might be.
And that brings us to Section 5, a timeless lesson learned.
The big takeaway from all of this is brilliantly simple. It is never too late to learn. Honestly, it's a phrase we've all heard a million times, right? To the point where it can kind of sound like a cliche. But when you anchor it to the reality of a 62-year-old woman painstakingly memorizing an alphabet just so she can read a story on her own, man, it gains some incredible weight. It proves that determination and hard work can help you achieve absolutely anything. The only real barriers to education are the ones we construct in our own minds.
So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a thought. If a 62